A Canadian high school says that it is illegal to criticize trans teacher with huge prosthetic breasts. This, ladies and gentlemen, is Mr. Lemieux. This is a biological male who is a shop teacher in high school who began transitioning from male to female 1 year ago. And these are some of the photos that are now going viral online that the students are taking of this individual. And the high school, this Canadian high school, is now defending this transgender teacher with these enormous prosthetic breasts. Here is a video of the teacher in question trying to teach shop class with this obviously insane giant prosthetic breasts with, as you can see here, like huge fake erect nipples. And my friends, I warned years ago about the slippery slope that was the transgender agenda. I mean, I knew things were getting real bad when I saw this back in 2017, that there were transgender summer camps for kids. Here we have the Rainbow Day Camp in California. The camp caters to transgender and gender fluid children aged 4 to 12. Newsflash, everybody, there is no such thing as a 4-year-old transgender child. In fact, there's no such thing as transgender children in general. What you have here are abusive parents who are much like, you know, a pet owner who thinks that they have a vegan cat or like a vegetarian pit bull or something. No, what you have there are people who are pushing their own ideology onto their pets, or in this case, onto their children, and it's absolutely child abuse, as I pointed out in this video. But guys, I want to talk about today where all this is heading, because it's going into a very sick, twisted, disgusting, and dangerous world. As we just saw here a couple of weeks ago, folks, this high school teacher was just caught on video saying that the students shouldn't refer to pedophiles as pedophiles, but instead they should call them minor attractive persons. Guys, if you're not familiar with that, just listen to this. Another professor explaining exactly what that means. Just listen to this.
A lot of people, when they hear the term pedophile, they automatically assume that it means a sex offender. And that isn't true, and it leads to a lot of misconceptions about attractions toward minors.
But not everyone
This is absolutely insane. This is what they're starting to push on children. In fact, this teacher was caught on video saying, don't judge people just because they want to have sex with a 5-year-old. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is absolutely disgusting. Here is the clip. Check it out.
The teacher, identified as Amber Parker, addresses her class, telling them to reference to pedophiles as MAPs, or minor attracted people.
Stop calling them that. You're not allowed to label people like that.
What?
Stop it. Yeah. We're not going to call them that. We're going to call them MAPs. No. Minor attracted persons.
No.
So don't judge people just because they want to have sex with a 5-year-old.
Unbelievable. She's sitting there, no, don't call them that. Getting the students in trouble for calling somebody a pedophile, saying, no, call them MAPs, minor attracted people, you know, just because they want to have sex with a 5-year-old. This is absolutely disgusting, folks. And where do you think this is heading? Why do you think they're doing things like this, which I reported on not long ago, where this convicted pedophile was released from prison because he was no longer deemed a threat? Why? Because he says he's now a woman now. That's right. This man is a danger to society. Joseph Matthew Smith, a convicted pedophile who was found guilty of sexual crimes against children ranging from age 1 to 13. An individual like this should be behind bars, but the Iowa Attorney General's office wants to see him set free because Smith now identifies as a woman. And ladies and gentlemen, I want to show you, look very closely at this photo here, and as you will see up in the top left-hand corner, this symbol here, which is in dark blue and light blue of like a spiraling pattern, this is familiar to me because I recall this WikiLeaks dump when the WikiLeaks released this FBI document showing secret pedophile symbols. Folks, here it is. Now declassified symbols and logos used by pedophiles to identify sexual preferences. This intelligence bulletin addresses crimes against children. Pedophiles, to include those who sexually abuse children, as well as those who produce, distribute, or trade child pornography, are using various types of identifying logos or symbols to recognize one another and to distinguish their sexual preference. And what do they have listed here as the secret pedophile symbol for boy lover? Notice the blue colored spiral that we see very similar to this image here. This is what we are dealing with, guys, and this is why I was warning about the slippery slope and where it is moving to in the future. And as you can see, this is a very, very, very bad place. So we're going to talk about all of that, guys, and much more in this video. But really quickly before we do, I say you check me out here at pressfortruth.ca/donate if you do appreciate my efforts to bring you all this information. Here you can do a one-time donation with PayPal. You can do Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies by clicking here. You can join me on Subscribestar by clicking here. This is a great Patreon alternative since I have been recently kicked off of Patreon. Here's another Patreon alternative where you can sign up for a monthly reoccurring contribution, guys. Thank you so much to everybody who has contributed in that way. Here you can send an e-transfer to Dan@pressfortruth.ca, or if you guys like to keep things old school, you can do so by sending things to my P.O. box, guys. Links for all of that are located in the description below. Once again, thank you so much to everybody who has contributed to my efforts over the years to bring you this information. All right, guys, so once again, you can't make this stuff up. This is happening at a school in Ontario in Oakville, not that far from where I actually grew up as a young boy. I could have gone to school with a teacher like this. And interestingly enough, some of the school is somehow split on this. And if you're a parent who was allowing your teenage boy to go to shop class with a teacher like this, and you're split on the issue, well, I'm afraid you are actually, guilty of child abuse for actually subjecting your children to this. And the Canadian School Board is actually defending this and saying it's illegal to criticize this teacher. These students are disturbed. They're skipping their classes right now, and the school board is even refusing to address the parents' concerns. So let's take a look at this. A Canadian high school has said it would be illegal to criticize and stop a trans teacher from wearing huge prosthetics breasts in class. Kayla Lemieux, a manufacturing technology teacher at Oakville Trafalgar High School in Ontario, was recently pictured instructing a shop class with large prosthetics on, which stretch her clothing. See, I wish people would really stop playing into this illusion like the Daily Mail is doing here. Look, if he wants to call himself Kayla, that's fine. I will refer to him as Kayla. But if he wants me to suspend reality and just go against basic science and biology by calling this man, this biological man who only 1 year ago started so-called transitioning, calling him a female, well, no, I'm sorry. It's not correct, and I'm not going to bend to another person's delusions in order to, be somehow politically correct. Despite the heavy backlash and reports that some students are skipping class, the Halton District School Board defended the teacher and said it would be no longer answer any questions about the issue because it's a personal matter. What about the matter of the children who are subjected to this? The district also claimed that interfering or criticizing the teacher would go against the Ontario Human Rights Code. Yeah, they're going there. The HDSB recognizes the rights of students, staff, parents, guardians, and community members to equitable treatment without discrimination based on gender identity and gender expression. Gender identity and gender expression are protected grounds under the Ontario Human Rights Code, the board said in a statement. Meanwhile, parents and students at the high school appear to be split on the issue. Again, if that's the case, you've got some serious issues. This 12th grader here told The Sun that while some people support Lemieux, others are not comfortable with the situation. Yeah, you think? I'm okay with it, he says. I know some of my friends are a little uncomfortable with it, but I think she, it should be he, should be able to express himself however he wants to. Again, here's videos and more pictures. Here's another parent of a student who told The Sun that most of the kids seem to just brush it off. I don't think anyone's really talking about it much. A woman identifying herself as Lee, a mother of a senior at the school, told The Sun that while she's okay with Lemieux coming out as a trans woman, she said wearing such large prosthetic breasts was just too much. I think he's going a little too far. I'm glad they quoted this mother as saying it for what it is. I think identifying himself is okay, but I think that just wearing that in the classroom, I still have concerns over that. Well, yeah, I think you ought to be concerned. Absolutely. When we're seeing that teachers are literally going around telling their students that pedophiles should be called minor attracted people. In fact, this teacher in Texas has since been fired over this, and rightly so. But this is just the beginning of all this, guys. And the problem that I have with all of this is that a lot of the people who are upset about this, as the Canadian School Board is defending this transgender teacher, are just kind of saying, you guys need to do something about this. You know, you need to change this. You need to make it so he can't, you know, dress in this type of inappropriate clothes. You know what, guys? What you need to really do is stop looking to the schools to try to fix this for you and just get them out of these indoctrination centers altogether. As if this wasn't enough of a red flag or of a huge sign to say, like, get them out, get them out, get them out now. Stop saying that, you know, just fix the problem, and instead rescue them. Get them away from these transgender activists who are brainwashing your children with a sexual ideological identity which is being pushed on them, whether they realize it or not. So, again, homeschooling is something that I'm going to say is the number one takeaway from this story. I mean, if this is what your child has to be subjected to go and learn how to cut a piece of wood with a saw, then you've got some serious issues with your priorities, and in fact, you are an abusive parent. As I said, this was a huge slippery slope that I saw coming way back, you know, especially when they introduced Bill C-16, obviously, that would police our language when it comes to, you know, using the people's preferred pronouns. And this is what came up in schools was the huge issue. So, again, the big takeaway from today, guys, is really shouldn't be surprised. I've been warning about this for years. We've been saying this is where it's going to go, and it's going to get to an even darker area, as we've shown you today. They're trying to quite literally normalize pedophilia. So if this wasn't a reason enough to get your kids out of these heavily indoctrination centers, I don't know what else is going to convince you. But hopefully this is it. So I just wanted to bring it to your attention, guys. I'm sure you've probably already seen this as it's gone, you know, viral. But in case you didn't know, the Canadian high school is taking the side of the teacher, not only saying it's illegal to criticize this person, but in fact you may be in violation of the Ontario Human Rights Code if you dare speak out about this. Just wanted to bring that to your attention today, guys. Please don't forget to check me out here at pressfortruth.ca/donate if you appreciate my efforts to bring you all this crazy information and try to explain to you why it might be a good idea to get them out of these places and to start homeschooling them instead. If you do appreciate that, guys, once again, don't forget to click that thumbs up button. Share this video with your friends and family who you think need to see it the most. And stay tuned. We're going to have more video reports coming very soon. This is Dan Dicks reporting for Press for Truth. We all want truth. The truth will set you free.